well, obviously you've had a terrible job. Obviously they're not answering the phone. Obviously they're not going to come back and fix it. Welcome back, episode number 52 of Learning the Hard Way, and my name is Ollie. This week it is going to be busy. We are taking you behind the scenes on some of our projects. We're also discussing a fairly constant industry frustration that I'm sure a lot of you will share, and we're finishing the week going to see a very special, is it guest, industry friend, YouTube friend? Stay tuned.
Hi Russell, how you doing? Yeah, very good, thank you. I was actually in Rome for the weekend, so a bit of a weekend getaway. So yeah, no, it was good. I really enjoyed it. Just wondering if I can order some rolls of turf, please. 54 metres. Thanks Russell, speak to you soon. Bye-bye. Morning, just back in from a long weekend away, so having a bit of a catch up from what I missed on Thursday, Friday, and getting some materials ordered, ready for the week ahead. So Harry's pressing on really nicely in Lewis. They're almost ready for the turf and the gravel for the steps, just waiting for Harry to confirm some square meterages and then get some bits ordered. So this is the main area where we've seen the guys working at the moment. So these lines are all the Corten steel or mild steel steps, top half being gravel, and the lower half being the grass steps that come down. Obviously planting beds either side that we've edged, and then sort of looks down towards the pond there.
So I haven't done any vlogging today. I am stuck with my head in front of the screen doing some incredibly boring but sadly very important admin. I'm not going to make you watch all of that though, so let's head back over to our Godalming site and see how the guys are getting on, finally installing the all green cladding.
Monday morning, this is hopefully the final week, and we are looking to wrap up. Had a bit of a traumatic time with the weather last week, but yeah, looking to wrap up, and we have started getting the all green cladding on the walls on our feature panels. Last Friday we had a bit of time at the end of the day, so rather than sort of getting stuck into it, we actually just set the cladding out on the floor and sort of made the pattern. So today it was a bit more easy, sort of just a bit easier, sorry, to sort of like move that pattern from the floor vertically onto the wall. So yeah, myself and Jack have been flying through that this morning, which is great. We've completed the first 3. I've got 3 more to go this afternoon, although they are the slightly larger ones, so we'll see where we get to, but hopefully you should get them on the wall. So yeah, it's starting to look really nice. Clients are happy. They came down to have a quick look. I think it was the right choice. We had a bit of a hoo-ha between exactly what to do on this wall. We went right back to the start again. We decided to go back with the actual sawn sandstone and then match the swimming pool wall that you can see this side with not exactly the same stone, but a flipping good match. So yeah, it really ties this area in, and I think it's starting to look really nice. So yeah, we're really happy with it, and yeah, just going to carry on going this afternoon. So
me and Andy are just getting the last of the cladding on the walls, the natural stone cladding. Got flow pointing and electric still to do, but means that we can get most of this stuff, all of our offcuts, leftover sand and cement, dirt and tools and all of that sort of thing off site. So means we're rounding up, closing off and getting out of here. So yeah, closing up, off we go.
Looking fantastic, and yeah, as you can see behind me, it is dark. I am still in the office. It has been a really intense day, and we're going to do another little bit of oversharing for you. We're going to talk a bit about business in 2025. As you know, business in 2024 was incredibly tough, so it is potentially perceived as a negative situation, but I feel like we're dealing with it in a very positive way, and I feel really good, and this is going to sound strange, I feel really, really good to announce that finally, this is after about a dozen multi-hour long calls to HMRC, we are finally on a manageable, structured plan to clear the last of our 2024 nightmares off with them, and that just feels so good. So it feels great that it's being dealt with, feels great that we're not going to be chased by them, feels great that we've been proactive, feels great that the repayments are actually pretty manageable. So yeah, huge thank you to AD in the office who has dealt with all of them. Yeah, it certainly gets you thinking, certainly gets you reflecting. And the reality is they are the last to get paid. I know I shouldn't say that, but you have to keep your business going. So I have to pay our suppliers and I have to pay our staff, because by doing so, the business can continue to trade and generate the revenue needed to clear our HMRC obligations. So it's just how it works, but we are being proactive, and yeah, that feels great. So this is another thing that you have to deal with as a small business. Signing up to terms and conditions with companies you work with, that they send you a 30-40 page T's and C's document full of the most mind-numbing technical jargon that nobody will ever read. We have been in an agreement, so we've been paying about £250 a month since 2021 for our vehicle trackers. We have decided to put cameras in our vans after a couple of little incidents. Nothing wrong with my guys. It's people driving into them recently, and we just think it's going to be a good thing to do to have in place as the company grows. They can't offer that service, so we have found another company, actually through our fuel cards, that can do it. But the original tracking company will not let us leave contract. They are saying that we need to pay another 9 months of instalments and then return every single thing they've sent us, which is probably 20, 30 of them, or they're £80 each. And just this big, long, actually pretty aggressive email, which I was just completely blown away by. So I responded to them saying, in the relationship that we've built, you guys have just, we're not leaving out of spite. You can't accommodate our new business. You've agreed to terminate the contract. So these terms they're just really unfair. So I gave them a couple of opportunities to sort of change their tone, and they haven't done it. And so we're seemingly stuck. I'm going to be looking into it. Yes, it's not very fair. That's a lot of money. And companies like that, I think, are notorious for preying on, so I guess, people in a vulnerable position. That vulnerability is just being a small business. So yeah, tough, really unfair. So that's been my day. Real admin slog. I've got tomorrow. It's going to be in the office all day again. But on Wednesday, I am being taken up to JCB, to their factory, to have a look at some of the new tech that they're developing. It's not somewhere I can take a camera. Oh, come back. Yeah, not somewhere I can take a camera. Over here. There we go. Yeah, it's not somewhere I can take a camera, but I will obviously film and talk about a lot of the stuff I see. Really looking forward to seeing some of the new tech that's up there. John from Berry Hill has very kindly invited me along with him. He's been invited to the factory. I'll just have to pretend that I'm interested in buying some new kit. I mean, I am interested, but yeah, I can't justify it. So really looking forward to that. And then on Thursday, you're going to have to wait and see, but I'm going somewhere which I'm very excited about. I've never been this far up north before. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm hoping they look after me. But yeah, really looking forward to it. So that is a long waffle. That is a long talk into the camera. I'm not going to bore you anymore. I'm actually going to send you back over to Godalming now. We're going to go and catch up with more progress on that site, because the guys are wrapping up cladding those walls, and they're doing all of the flow pointing, so pointing all of the paving. That's all going to be done tomorrow. So we are another big step towards practical completion.
Yeah, we just noticed as we were prepping the paving, flow pointing, that one of the pavers basically had a relatively big crack in this corner. So yeah, simple as, it just needs to come up and be replaced. Bit frustrating. It's always one of those really annoying things. It takes a little bit of time to break it, lift it out, break the bed out, prep a little tiny bit of sand, prep a tiny bit of slurry, get it back in. But that is the standard that we keep here. We definitely don't want to ever leave anything that's like slightly not right. Yeah, and then we'll crack on with the flow pointing. So.
Right, lift up a bit more.
Sorry.
There you go.
Can you then support as I just move my hand? You okay?
Yeah.
We are mixing the next batch of flow point. It's basically very crucial that you get the right amount of water to the right amount of flow point. So you basically mix a bag at a time. It's 4.25 litres of water to a bag. And you basically need to mix it for a sort of good 5 minutes just to make sure it's really, really mixed up and all those particles are broken down. If it's less water or more water, it can change the colour ever so slightly. And it just, you know, changes the curing time as well. So if obviously it's dry, it might cure quicker, which means, you know, the colour might change slightly. So it's got to be pretty like hot on the mixing process.
We're flow pointing Andy's lovely patio, or Andy and Jack's lovely patio. Quite the team operation, but we got the right team, so that's right. With heightened sun exposure, this stuff can be pretty stressful because it will go off really quick, and as you can see, we're basically covering all of Andy's hard work, so you have to be careful. Making a mess on the slabs to start with, but before it dries, you'll see us clearing it all off with a sponge and a bucket, and then eventually later in the day we'll give it a jet wash, and yeah, should see a pretty nice finished product.
Good afternoon. It is Tuesday and great to see our Godalming project again making such good progress. I appreciate we are taking you there an awful lot at the moment, but that is largely because the project is coming on well. There's lots of, in my opinion, exciting things to see, and we've got our new videographer and we are getting him out on the road as much as possible, just getting used to the teams and how we work and how we operate. So we're catching a lot of content from there, so we're going to share it. No point doing it for no reason. I am, as you can see, out in the woods. I'm out with the dogs. Not speaking to you in the car today. I'm trying to vary it, trying to mix it up, and we're going to talk about something that's come up in the vlogs before, and it will keep coming up in the vlogs, and something that the comments section is very much open for. It is the frustration that comes with quoting without being able to charge for that service, and how to manage clients' expectations, how we as an industry need to elevate ourselves and just be better, do better. For this example, the clients weren't transparent on their budget to the designer. The initial projects came in at about £60,000. We did the whole quoting process. Probably takes Matt a full day to work out, quantify, and then write up a quote. Out of line, out of budget, goes back into the drawing board. Happens again, £40,000. No, client's still being cagey about budget, but just saying that this isn't going to work. That's another day that we've lost. We are the preferred contractor, and that's how the designer sells it to us and says, you know, keep quoting because you're the only ones that are looking at this job. You're going to get it. So a few months have gone by in all of this, and it's really dragged out. We've had lots of correspondence between us and the designer. Latest correspondence is they have been transparent with the design, with the budget, sorry, and the budget is £20,000. So what has now happened is every single hard landscaping element has been pulled out of the job. All the new decking is gone, the new paving is gone. It has just got to the point where it's some gravel paths and planting beds. Now, this is not something that justifies a design or a design service. Well, Matt has spent probably 4 full days on this, not generated any revenue whatsoever. So really, should his day rate have been charged for all of those days? Again, it's the landscaper whose time has no value. So the designers are being paid, structural engineers are being paid. Why does our time not have value like the other industry professionals? So it's an interesting conversation, and one that gets thrown around a lot in the professional body. You know, in the APL it gets spoken about a lot, rightly so. But yeah, has anyone here got it right? Has anyone been able to make it work, make it stack? If you've got an answer, let us know in the comments. Let's get a conversation going. We're going to head over to Godalming now, where Jay has got a new member of staff, and it is his very first day. So, of course, we're going to put a camera in his face and see how he's finding it.
Up in Godalming, the boys laid this little bit of patio some time ago. However, what none of us realised was there's some, I think it's an old badger hole had gone underneath. It's an inactive hole now. but it was really quite deep, so we're just filling it in. Because it's such a deep hole, if we just fill in with soil, it's just going to be annoying for the rest of the time. So we're going to layer up with some more stabilising pieces, like some of these old rocks that we found at the back of the shed. We'll layer some of those in, then we'll put some soil in, and then we'll finish off with soil and the piece of turf on top. That's just to make it nice and stable and stop it from sinking, really. And of course, this is Solly's first job.
I love gardening, and it's always something I've wanted to actually do. So working for a prestigious company and things like that is always it's always good, isn't it? What I'm nervous about is messing up people's property or messing up work that's already been undertook and stuff like that. And it wouldn't be intentional. It would be because it's a learning curve, you know. I've never done anything like this before. I mean,
Literally just chuck it in.
Well, this needs to be a grade A job because it's my first job, and if it's a grade Z, well, it's not looking good.
Thankfully for you, that's what I'm here for. I'm very excited to have Solly with us. He was chosen predominantly for his personality, because working within the teams, it's really important that the personality that we employ can work well with every member of the teams, both in maintenance and landscaping. What I got from Solly on an interview was enthusiasm, motivation, and a keenness to try, give things a go and learn. Obviously, it's my job to just oversee, mentor, teach, cajole, push, and just ensure that Solly is growing in a way that works well for the business and, importantly, works nicely and achieves our goals and aims for our clients' gardens, because obviously that's the most important thing. Yeah, I'm quite excited.
So I am back in the car now and I'm heading back to the office, but I wanted to wrap that up with a bit of an analogy. So something I've been thinking about, and something that as I've grown older, I'm seeing more and more and more. People decide they want to go and get their garden done. So they'll tell everybody they're doing it. They'll have a few recommendations. They'll be there at the school gates, you know, have you spoken to this person? Have you spoken to that person? And then they'll go away and they'll start getting quotes in, and they will be shocked at how expensive it is, because there's nothing to manage their expectations other than things like My Builder and EVERYTRADE, who produce articles saying a patio costs £2,000 to install, including labour, and you shouldn't pay a landscaper more than £120, £150 a day, which is just so, I mean, should actually be criminal. So there isn't enough content on social media from people like me who are telling you what real business costs and what it costs to do properly. So there isn't enough of that influence. They go around complaining, moaning, shocked about how expensive everything. I can't believe these people want all this money. Oh, it's just so ridiculous. It's blah, 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 blah. And so they'll keep shopping around and shopping around and shopping around. Another quote, another quote, another quote, wasting all of these people's time until they find someone who gives them a really low-balled quote, you know, a quote that's £10,000-20,000 less than everyone else is quoted. They will take cash, they're no VAT, they're all this sort of stuff. They'll get the job done, and then the narrative goes, oh, I can't believe these people, I can't believe these tradesmen, I can't believe it, they've ripped me off, they've taken my money, I paid them in cash, and the job they've done is awful, and now they won't answer the phone, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, what on earth do you expect? So they've gone for that quote, and then they're annoyed when things don't go well. And then we find it where we will be called to these jobs when they've gone on, and the client will unload all of this on me as we're standing there, and we're like, well, obviously you've had a terrible job. Obviously they're not answering the phone. Obviously they're not going to come back and fix it. Oh, and by the way, for us to now do the job that you said we were too expensive for, it's going to cost you an extra 10, 15, 20,000 pounds, potentially much more, because we've also got to rip out everything that they've done to get it back to a blank canvas for us to then start. So yeah, it's insane. It is insane. And like I said, it's been an issue for a very long time. And I don't know, we've got the potential to have a bit of a platform here. And, you know, I'm not just doing it to talk to other tradesmen, and a lot of our demographic are other tradesmen, but there's a lot of people who aren't, who are watching it. And, you know, I hope that they can get some value, and listening to this might make them think, oh, actually, yeah, maybe I shouldn't go for that cheap quote who just texted me a number and didn't produce any form of documentation or anything which they're legally obliged to do. Yeah, food for thought. Have a think about it.
Yeah, well, he shovels. I've done loads and loads of hours.
It's Wednesday morning and I'm at somewhere I'm pretty excited about. So huge thanks to John at Berry Hill for extending the invite and including me in his group today. But we are at JCB, we're up in Uttoxeter. We've got the factory tour coming up today, so whatever I can share, I will. But greeted by a couple of very lovely backhoes, one new, one old, showing the history of the brand. It's an amazing building, and there's a very cool for any F1 fans. Aston Martin liveried telehandler. Yeah, very cool, very exciting. Bit of a childhood day for me today, being around all these machines. But yeah, it was a long drive up this morning. It's about 3.5 hours in the car, so we left nice and early. John picked me up about 5:30. But yeah, really looking forward to it. I'm told that we can't point a camera around in quite a lot of the places, so I'll be a little bit careful. But anything we can show, I absolutely will, because I'm sure I'm not the only one who will find being somewhere like this pretty exciting. Whilst I'm up at JCB looking at some new and very exciting kit, the Hardwood maintenance team are back at base looking after some of our existing kit, keeping it maintained and looked after.
A slight deviation in today's plan means that we've got a little bit of downtime. So I'm using the downtime with Solly, who joined me yesterday, to actually maintain some of our tools. If you've watched this vlog before, you'll have seen me maintaining tools previously. It's something that we do frequently, and whenever there's downtime it's really important, because by maintaining our tools, we can ensure their safety, but also make sure we get the best out of our tools and optimise our working efficiency. By him understanding how the tools work means that when we're out on the road, if there's a problem with one of the machines, he's more likely to be able to sort the problem there and then in the client's garden, which allows us most of the time to actually fix our machine or deal with it there and then. So building on those skills now means later in the year I'm saving an awful lot of time or downtime wasted faffing around with machines. The hardest thing is not to just jump in and do it yourself for them. It's having to stand there and just watch and explain.
I agree. But only when I know when I'm doing something better than the other person.
Good morning. We have made it into Thursday, and yeah, what an incredible day it was yesterday. Very, very inspiring, very amazing to see a British company doing so well. Huge thank you to Green Shields JCB for organising the day, and thank you to John from Berry Hill for inviting me along with him. It was great. Lots of sort of talk about the potential of grab trucks and where we want to take the lorry side of the business, and you know, what operation, back end and plant operation is going to be required to support that. And yeah, I mean, if we can work with JCB, that would be pretty incredible. See, I was able to show you a lot of the history side of it. So the day started with walking around and being guided through the museum and the history of the brand and watching videos from the chairman, etc. Like I said, very inspiring. We then went through 3 of their factories. So we got to see various machinery being built. It's pretty incredible, the amount, and they really do build it in-house. It's not like a lot of these brands that are just moving to being assembled in the UK or Europe, but you know, importing lots of typically Asian parts. It really is all built there. It's amazing. So we saw the engines being built, and then all the 360 excavators being built. Their tech program is like watching a NASA screen. The screen was the size of my house and all these people sitting in front of it, and they were watching live telematics reports from over 500,000 JCB machines that are currently running across the world, with the view that if there's a sensor error or a problem with that machine, they know it before the operator does. Just, yeah, mind-blowing innovation and technology, and the whole place was just insane branding. They then took us to the JCB golf course. So yes, they've got their own golf course, which was stunning. So we went up to the country club, had very lovely steaks for lunch. Yeah, really looked after, amazing hospitality. and then got to spend the afternoon heading to one of theirs. So they've got 3 quarries that they own locally, and that's solely for testing machinery out. So we all got to go and play with whatever we wanted to play with, basically. So it's where all their demo machines go. They've got a 4th quarry which you can't go, and that's where they do all of their product development and R&D for new machines they're working on. So that's the only thing that they wouldn't show us. Through the factories, etc., we couldn't film because that would have made some awesome content. So yeah, sorry I couldn't share that with you, but like I said, incredible day, very inspiring. I'm going to go get some breakfast now. We're going to head over to Lewes to catch up with one of the Hardwood teams, and then I'll check back in and show you who I'm seeing and why on earth I've come to Stockport. We've shown you plenty of our Godalming site this week, so we're going to take you down to Lewes now to have a look at Harry and his team, see how they're getting on. He has assured me the grass is looking a little bit greener.
Happy Sunday, people. Today is, of course, Thursday down in Lewes. Towards the end of the job now, hopefully anyway. Fingers crossed. Don't want to jinx ourselves, but yeah, nice sunny day today. Progress since we were last here. Basically wrapped up the hard landscaping. Put all the steps in now, they're all in, all finished, and the paving has been tied into the new steps. We've done a few little extras around the garden that clients has asked us to do. One extra that I'm on right now is rebuilding this wall. It's a pretty crazy wall using these pieces of sandstone, I believe. Just trying to use some mortar and restack it a little bit nicer, just so it's a bit safer and looks a little bit nicer, basically. Today we've had the turf arrive, so we'll be getting that down in a short second. We're getting that down in a second. Be good to see that in. Turfing is pretty straightforward. Got to put a big old dent in the lawn now. Nice one. Glad you're leaving. You got to prep your soil right. Make sure you got your right soil. We've had a bit of a nightmare with it's all quite waterlogged down there, so trying to eke out where the soil's really compacted. Chuck a bit more down as we've been going on these little steps. But yeah, it's rolled out quite nicely. It's really nice to cut in against the meth wedging. It's a nice sort of straight edge to work off of. Makes sense now, these grass steps. I think they look pretty cool.
Thank you, Harry. It's looking fantastic down in Lewes. And now, off the back of my trip to JCB, it only felt right being that far north that I finally said yes to going to see a good friend who we've met through YouTube. Chris actually slid into my DMs, I don't know, a good few months ago, and we've been talking quite a lot ever since. So, made the trip up there to have a look at him and his operation and see how EVERYTRADE's run behind the scenes.
So we're at the yard. You got a mic, Ollie? Yeah, he's mic'd up, ready to go. Got him a high vis out the bin. So that's actually a really.
It's a brand new one.
It's the cleanest one we
have.
have.
Mud on it. It's nice to be here. The office stuff is very exciting, but it's the mud and the dirt and the actual action.
The bit I'm really interested in, which is I've sort of mentioned it a few times, is the processing.
Yeah.
Turning waste into a usable product.
Yeah, of course. And how do you feel you've managed with the machines you've got? Are you running at an efficient scale, efficient operation?
No, we're getting there. I'd say after about 12 months of tinkering and trying.
What do you need to change?
Just process, so the double handling. You'll see at the moment, so we've invested in the big scalping screener here.
Yeah.
And it sends off a soil, which in theory we could sell straight out because there's a market for it. But it's just not quite the right consistency. I know you know a lot more about soil than me.
Yeah.
But so at the moment we're able to collect that, take it somewhere else in the yard and rescreen it. My aim is to have one man on one machine loading one hopper.
Yeah.
And then literally it feeds the rest of the other bits of kit, and we get off 2, maybe 3 sellable products.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, this is product that will just go to landfill. So yeah, when I looked at doing grabs, that was the bit that I thought, you need one with the other, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's such an expensive. I mean, our kit isn't all brand new and it's not all shiny, but
It's that whole balance, though, isn't it? I think a really good approach for a new business and a new venture is lowering your exposure at the beginning, going for these cheaper machines. Yes, you've got the maintenance headaches, but if you prove the concept and prove the market and prove it's all there, that's when you can justify investing in
but you're still
kit on
looking
HP,
at
etc.
With the grab and the tipper, you're still looking at £500,000 worth of investment.
It's amazing how quickly it adds up.
Well, it does, and there's always another bit of kit that you could do with, or there's always something that breaks, or I've bought the wrong kit, not really thinking about it. The key in this industry is what I've learned very quickly, is you don't want an empty journey. So you want, the model is you want to take some aggregate, drop it, bring some muck away. You know what I mean? And that is what we're trying to do, get them back.
That's the ideal. If a site can facilitate it and has the space, that's something that we've spoken about a lot, is making sure we're offering good competitive discounted rates if we're pulling material in and muck out. So, but it's good to see our business at the moment isn't, we're not focusing so much on processing ourselves, but it's interesting to see there's certainly limited ways of adding value with primary material, because you buy it at one cost and you can only sell it at what the current market value is, so you're stuck with that margin.
We're quite fortunate like you in that we've got another cash flowing business, we've got a couple of cash flowing businesses, whereas if we were starting this from day one, from a standing start, it would be really hard to get it to where we've got it.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean? Without going out there raising investment, which means you've got to give someone else a piece of the action. We've funded most of this. We've leveraged debt, but we've got that debt because we're credit worthy in the other businesses. What we've spent pound for pound in a year, we probably wouldn't see back for a long time, but we're going to I want to build like a one-stop solution that'll also serve my own business. That'll be here for generations.
That's the further added value, isn't it? It's one a good justification for us in going through those harder months is I can service the other businesses with our grab. So
we've got a good construction business, we've got a good property portfolio. We want to just organically grow this with the support of the other businesses. So what do you think?
I love it, mate. I love just machines in action. It's just it doesn't matter what size or scale you get to or how off the tools you become. I could just sit and watch that telehandler working for an hour.
I do on the
sad, isn't it, really?
No, it's not sad. I completely get it. I'm quite late to the whole.
I think it's one of the things my main business is the landscaping company. It's domestic landscaping, so it's small in the kit it needs and the kit it can justify. So one of the things that's exciting, and I can't let this blind business decisions. But with the grab company is looking at, I was at JCB yesterday at the factory tour and looking at some of their kit and just thinking just envisaging it working and being part of what we're building. And, proper boys' toys.
But you can understand why people do go big, but you can also understand why the barrier entry is quite high as well.
Absolutely, and rightfully so.
And I was saying that before, it's a good thing probably. It stops anyone just doing it, but not anyone can go and borrow £500,000
you've seen me this morning scratching around on my phone. I'm trying to find money and move money to make things happen. It's constant.
You owe me a tenner, by the way.
Oh yeah, we haven't been for lunch yet. So.
No, it's good. I'm glad. Let's have a look around. Let's keep going. More to see. So I like it up here, Ollie. This gives me a bit of a vantage point of the whole sort of operation, but you can kind of see what we're trying to put together here. Long term, the idea is I want to get this to a place where other companies can come with their load and then we can process it and essentially sell it back to them.
And the limitation on that is the size of the plot and licensing as well, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, the licensing, which we're going through at the moment,
ruins everybody's fun.
Yeah, it does, but
doing things legally.
It's good in a way because it gets that threshold for entry a bit higher. It's like we're going through all the permitting now at the moment, and it's what we're going for in terms of the tonnage we can put through will be fine. But long term, if it works, we'll find a bigger site and we'll go again. I just want to learn the mechanics. Like, we're in a fortunate position where, because we've got the other businesses, that we can sort of play around a little bit and make mistakes and stuff. And
I mean, the infrastructure here, you've obviously been investing in the space, but it's not to a point where it would be catastrophic for you to sort of have a bit of a rearrange. So if you do get a bigger space or can join onto some other yards again, that's
what we've done.
You can join in
all the decisions,
join them together and actually have a fresh look at making your turning circles better, for example.
Yeah, that's hard. I know. You got to play a bit of Jenga, but everything we've bought is with the view that maybe we'd lift it up and take it somewhere else, or we can just move some concrete blocks and open up the yard. So But it's just finding that, if I had my way, I'd just go full hell for leather and just go for it. But,
Yeah.
you know, my business partner, Alex, he's a bit more of a cooler head. And, you know, he says, let's just build it slowly. But,
Yeah.
no, I can see the model. I think the model works. The muck's got to go somewhere, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so that is...
It's just balancing the scale of your operation and the kit you have.
Yeah. I actually can't believe the weather you've brought with you today, mate.
Oh, mate, it's always sunny in Surrey.
Yeah, it's never that sunny in Manchester, as I always bang on about, but it's... so does this give you any ideas, any inspiration?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How not to do it?
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks a lot. Jesus. So he's insulted where I'm from, and now he's insulted me.
No, not at all.
So I've shown Ollie around. I tried to get him to do some work for free, but apparently doesn't want to get his hands dirty.
I'll jump on a machine, mate.
No, yeah, I'll put you on our machines. It'd be a bit embarrassing. Yeah. But no, it's good. I think you've seen a few things, haven't you? You've enjoyed it, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah.
It's good. And I need to come down to your place and see your...
You do?
You got big plans for your yard, haven't you?
Yeah. I'll show you the... can't go on the vlog, I'm afraid, but I can show you our yard designs.
No, I will.
Which we've had built.
I'm one of them
designs,
people that watches Ollie's vlog every single week, and then I hear that, oh, I can't talk about it yet. But
well, again, it's another process we're stuck in. We're in planning permission, and we can't release it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what our landlords would think if we put that out.
There's no point.
Planning's through.
YouTube's great, doing vlogs and being transparent's great, but it can't be at the detriment of your business.
Oh, 100%.
You can't.
100%.
You know, this is here to enhance our businesses. I know it probably frustrates subscribers and viewers and stuff, but at the end of the day, we are businessmen and people in business just putting content out there. So who would have thought that a big pile of muck would be so interesting?
No, I love it. I love it. Thank you very much, Chris. Fantastic to meet you in person and see how all of the EVERYTRADE team actually work and how it all goes on behind the scenes. I've certainly come back full of ideas. Here's Chris's page. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. And you've probably noticed, if you do subscribe to him, that quite a lot of that content was actually from his last week's video. For the first time ever, the recording I did had no audio, so we couldn't use it, but luckily we've got Chris's content he's let us share. We're heading back over to the Hardwood team now, over to our Godalming site that you know very well, but last thing I heard, they were all in the hot tub.
The landscape teams needed help from the maintenance team again. I've come to their rescue. It's wonderful. It's usually the other way around. So, yeah, at the moment, we're trying to figure out how on earth we're going to shift this thing. Solly's obviously clearing out some of the water, but I don't know. Ask Andy, because he's the one in charge of this project.
So we're just going to DPM. Jay's found some rounds, logs. Oh, amazing, yeah, perfect. So effectively we just need to lift one end of it up and chuck a couple of rolls underneath it so we can pivot it, and then if we do what the Egyptians did and just keep moving the rolls, hopefully the wooden roll will, it will kind of tilt and then end up here.
We're going to do this the Egyptian way.
That's the grand plan. Whether it works, probably not, but...
3, 2.
Ready?
Oh, it's easy. It's so light.
On the roller.
That was easier than last time, wasn't it?
I remember there was more water in it last time.
There definitely was more water.
Solly's done a great job. It's all out. Absolutely unbelievable. I love it. I love it. Ready?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
It should pivot up now. Yeah, they are. Perfect.
Andy, how many pieces of timber under there? One. Just the one?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. So if we all lift this edge... Yeah.
So we need to cut that DPM out.
No, I should be able to
We should be able to just lift it and he'll get it out ready.
You good?
You out?
Hold on, guys. Solly gets man of the match, I think.
Yeah. I think we owe Solly a pint.
Hold on, lads. Thank you very much. It's been bloody busy and really, really productive. We've got a lot done, which has been great. The team has been solid and really helpful, which is all we can all ask for, sort of thing. So, yeah, good day, good week.
You get your fingerless gloves.
So there we go, another week, our first YouTube collaboration, new members of staff starting, and it's always really good seeing the whole team coming together to get those bigger jobs done. As is often the case, the Hardwood Landscapes team love to get together on a Friday evening at the local pub to share what has gone well and what hasn't that week. A special shout out to Finn, my younger brother, who you've got to know on these vlogs. He's off, he's leaving the company. Unfortunately, it was always temporary, but I can't blame him swapping landscaping in the UK for private yachts in the Mediterranean. So thank you again to Finn for all of your hard work, and thank you to you guys, the viewers who are watching this video. Make sure you click like underneath, and if you haven't already, please do click subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and we can't wait to see you all next week.